Hi, everyone. I am Lori McKeough Smith. I am so excited to welcome you all, whether you're watching it live or watching the replay. Today, we are launching the June edition of Edify Your Soul magazine. This issue is dedicated to surviving loss, whether that be the loss of a loved one, the loss of a pet. We all know that, unfortunately, this is something that affects all of us at some point in our life. And the difficulty, the challenge, and sometimes excruciating pain can be so difficult. And the purpose of this magazine is to provide support, education, information to let you know that you're not alone. I have gathered some of the top experts in the world that can speak of the afterlife. They have had their own experiences with a near-death experience. They are mediums. They are healers. We have all sorts of different people that talk from personal experience, from a tremendous amount of research. And I would love to introduce to you some of the authors and some of the people that I have interviewed for this issue. When the magazine goes live, which will be about an hour after this live that we're doing, please browse through it, see what might help you, see what you're drawn to. Throughout this magazine, there are little red symbols that say giveaways. If you click on those, you will be brought to a Google form that you can fill out to be entered to win. We have some readings, we have books, private sessions that some of the authors have so graciously volunteered to donate. So I'd like to now bring everyone else on. Here we are. So joining us today, we have Colin, Jennifer, Lynn, Kelly, Marilyn. We have Brooke, Nancy, Simone. I'm not sure if there's anyone else I missed. Is there? Can I see everyone? Lynn, did I say you? Okay. So Lynn, since I wasn't sure if I got you, I'm just going to start with you. Can you unmute?
Sure.
Hi, Lynn. Thank you for joining us today. So Lynn is a medium. She's a student. She has been working with spirit forever, right?
Yeah.
So I asked you what you know best about surviving loss, and I believe the topic you picked was where is heaven, right?
Yeah.
So without giving away everything you wrote in your article, where is heaven?
So to me, heaven is just a breath away. My perspective of heaven comes, and it's my perspective only, comes from the things I've heard people talking about, my experiences, the things I've read. And so whatever I've read and heard or listened to, and it feels right with me, that's the picture of where heaven is. And I believe that it's different for all of us, but I do believe that it exists for every one of us. Where it is different for everybody. And I can only talk for where I think heaven is my home. Heaven is where I find peace. Heaven is where, and my heaven can even be here on earth at times when I find that peace.
That's awesome. Thank you, Lynn. I know we always point up. I gave that a lot of thought the other day. Like, why do we point up if our loved ones are just here and with us? And I was thinking, when most people have near-death experiences, they describe looking down on their bodies. I believe we share the space. I do believe that our loved ones are very close. I believe if we open our minds and our hearts, we can feel them, sometimes physically, emotionally, spiritually. So, Colin, my co-host, Colin Walker, hello again. Are you unmuted, Colin? Let's put you on the spot.
Hello.
Why is this topic so important to you? What do you have to offer everyone about surviving loss?
Well, I think we can only individually offer our perspective of it.
Yep.
I think we're at a point where we're moving away from that word loss because we take it so personally. I've lost someone, I've lost something. And when it comes to death and taking the transition of the human soul to the spirit planes, I think we've got to put a spin on it and start celebrating the fact and sense the joy of having the presence of somebody, whether a sentient being, whether it's a human being, somebody we love deeply and profoundly, or a animal from the animal kingdom. The same applies. It's a sentient being, and when they take the transition, I think we should be celebrating their life here and the joy and times which we spent with them in their presence, because they're emitting this wonderful, beautiful energy. And when we talk about loss, I see we've lost it. When we're talking about loss, we're taking it as our own personal, and this is where the grief comes from. We're taking it as our own personal loss, and to a degree. And I know this may sound, whatever it will sound, controversial maybe, but in a way, sometimes grief and loss, it can be quite selfish because we're actually thinking about ourselves. We're thinking about our own emotions and how painful it is to us. Loss is as a result of our grasping and attachment to something, in this case, someone we love. And the more deeply we're attached to somebody, the tighter we're going to grasp it. And when that person, that soul takes a transition, that's what's painful, because we've got to loosen our sense of attachment. So there's kind of lots of different aspects here. But I say it as respectfully and with as much compassion as I possibly can, because I understand evolution at the minute. We're still in the throes and vibrations of a certain wave of love. And it's that type of love, it's that vibration of love where we have difficulty coping with,
Right.
And surviving loss.
Right. Thank you. You know, we can all talk about how beautiful it is and how we can embrace it. But we all have our human side. And I don't think there's anyone here that at some point hasn't said, it's awful, right? It's just sometimes has felt unsurvivable, if that's a word. Marilyn, I'd love to introduce you, if that's okay.
Sure.
Marilyn did an amazing chat that's recorded, an interview. Marilyn's son transitioned. And is there anything you can tell us briefly, Marilyn, about your experience? I know you're not where you are. You weren't where you are then.
Right. But I'm definitely not where I need to be yet either, because it's a process. It's been 5 years since Jamie transitioned, and his life was taken tragically, and my whole world just stopped. I mean, I had no conscious awareness of what was going on around me. I have so many gaps in my memory that I'm still trying to retrieve, that are slowly coming back, and some probably never will. But what I have learned from my experience is that you need to sit in your feelings while when they come. You need to experience it, but you need to find some tools so that you just don't stay there. And it will come back. It definitely, that grief wave will hit you at times when that is totally unexpected. And I have to say that mediumship changed my life. A friend of mine recommended a medium for me and set me up with a session for her. And I was born and raised as a Catholic and very active in my Catholic faith. And so I have all those taboos that are buried into my consciousness that I had to overcome. But after sitting with this medium, there was no way that I could not acknowledge the truth of the afterlife. And it really changed the way that I grieve. It changed to be able to have, I still have a relationship with my son. And to be able to do that is just, to me, it's miraculous. It's just magical to me. The signs that he sends to me, I mean, it's just undeniable that, he's right here with me. And
Right.
I can feel his presence. I do wish I could still hear his voice and touch his cheek and give him a hug. Of course, we're always going to miss the physical, but knowing that you don't die, that you continue to live in a different way is just, it's just life changing.
Right. Was there ever a time where you thought you wouldn't survive?
There was a time when I thought wouldn't survive. There was a time when I did not want to survive. I just thought that life was so cruel because I thought I was a good person. I was doing good things. And I'm like, why does this have to happen to me? But I know that there
Right.
is a reason for it. I mean, this is my soul plan. This is what I decided to agree to. So you just have to, I pray that other people find the tools and that they need in order to survive, to keep moving forward.
Right. Thank you. And thank you for being so vulnerable. That's one of the most important things to me for this magazine. Talk about those things and those feelings that we all have. Simone.
Hi, hello there.
Hi, Simone. So you've been a working medium for over 30 years, right?
That's right. Yeah. Well, over
Okay.
40 actually.
Over 40. Awesome. So what's this all about, this soul plan? I know many people just want to scream, why?
I'm not.
Why would we choose this?
I have no idea. I just, I don't think anyone has the definitive answer on any of the subjects, except all you can understand is what you yourself go through. And I think almost everyone here must have lost somebody close to them. And I just remember when my mum was 46 when she passed very unexpectedly. And I couldn't even talk about her for 3 years, let alone share what I was feeling. And then my father passed when he was 90. And all I can say to you is there was a massive difference between the two. Because I knew my dad was ready to go. He'd lived a good life. He knew he was going. And there was no shock. And the problem is when people leave us tragically, especially in Marilyn's case, where this is her son. And, and we always believe as parents that we're going to outlive our children. And it, it seems really cruel, but we don't know what the divine plan is. None of us does. All we can know is that there has to be a reason, maybe not for us in our lifetime, but a higher plan, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know. But it doesn't make sense to me that this is accidental. Nothing to me is coincidental.
Right.
So there has to be. But one thing I have learned, and please remember this is just my opinion, based on my experiences, that you can't die before your time. That's the one thing I've learned. And that is so hard when we see children go to the spirit world and our animals go. But that's my point. But I would just like to say too that for all of those people listening who've lost someone so dear to them, I want you to know that your loved one is so looked after, so comforted and embraced by others that are ready for them, ready there for them and holding them and helping them to adjust their, removal from the material side of life to the spiritual. That I do know. That I do know because I'm told and I feel it. And it's been explained to me, those minds on the other side of life who welcome us. They probably know more about our passing than we do.
Right.
But all I can say is sometimes there are occasions when, as healers, we can be used in the event of someone passing. So in other words, the spirit world can use our energy to help that person make a very smooth transition to the next world. And so, healing is not always about keeping people here in our world.
Right.
But if we believe what I believe, which is that we're going to go to, heaven, to a wonderful place where we're with like minds that want to help, support, and encourage us to move on in our thinking, and therefore those people that we lose when we and it is to me a loss because it feels like you've lost a part of you.
Right.
So much a part of you. And so when we feel we've lost those people, we have to remember too that they're not in pain, they're not suffering, they're in a world of love. And that to me is how I feel it can help us. I'm not saying there's any quick therapy or quick method,
Right.
because grief can take as long as it takes. There's no definitive answer on how long we've got to suffer for. But all I know is that it's not the loved one who's passed on that we have to worry about. It is
It's the ones here.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Nancy, I'm going to give you probably one of the most difficult questions. So you've worked in so many different capacities. The way we met was your work with as a psychic detective. So you've experienced and witnessed people that are suffering from such tragedies. So if it's so amazing, if we're going to such a great place, why stay? Because as we know, depression is big thing that a lot of people battle. And when you lose someone close to you, like Simone said, it's like losing a part of you.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you. I will attempt to give an answer. I was born as a medium, and I have worked with people on the other side since I'm about 2, because I can, but I've been working as a medium since 50 years. What I find is, unfortunate, working on crime, fresh murder, and contacting the other side first to see if they will show me what happened. I know that one of the things, as Marilyn was talking, I realized, all right, I've done a lot of memorials on people I love. I'm a minister. And so when I went to contact them, my whole point was, show me what happened. I'm okay doing it myself, feeling it. It's okay. I need you to know you don't have to be afraid. You got somebody here with you. As a consequence of assuming, I guess, and what Simone said, what everybody is saying, nobody knows all of it, but evidential material helps when I can confirm that they told me exactly what happened and the police back it up. So what I found is they need love right away because they are in trauma, even if they left their body. At least that's my experience of it. those who are remaining here through it, as everyone has said, nobody can tell you how to mourn, when to mourn, how not to. It's no one can tell you any of that. That's crazy. But I have been friends for 30 to 40 years with most of the victims' families that I worked with originally in the 1980s. After that, it's been harder to stay in contact with the others, but I'm still friends with all of them. And I think part of it is, if I can say anything, we're all wireless. You know, animals taught me that, where I can trace where they are when they're lost, whether it was a pony or a dog, it didn't matter, or people. I can trace and say what happened, and then we can confirm it. Years later, not even seeing them, not a photo or anything, just over the phone, one jumped in my arms, recognizing me, and another one just came over and tried to hug. So I knew, oh my God, we're wireless, but aren't we wireless on the other side too? And once we can confirm that for ourselves while we're here, because I've lost plenty of people, animals, everything, I get that. But I do believe that the other side is, as you said, Lynn, a breath away. It is so hard to do that when you're in grief. It's almost impossible. When you are emotional, as somebody who is able to go to first crime scenes with detectives, I know I have to be very, almost looking cold to do the work. But then if I can get close and connect to the loved one on the other side, they can tell me who did it. They can tell me how it happened if they know. And that's how we have been very successful with the work for so long. I find that I don't have answers about what's on the other side for anybody. Not at all. I think that some of them I've worked with, they were traumatized. I don't care whether they're in their body or not. To discover that one of their own species turned against them so much they ripped them out of their body. I don't think it's a step away lovely for them personally, but I don't know.
Thank you. Let's see. Brooke. Hi there. Thank
Hi.
you for joining us this month.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. It's wonderful to listen to the others. I've taken classes from Simone, so it's fun to hear her here.
Right. So what do you know about all this, Brooke?
Everything except what except Nancy's experience. I love thinking of us as being wireless, though. That's just a beautiful concept. My daughter, Emilia, died. I don't like the word died. My friend Cheryl Page, I don't know if any of you know Cheryl, but she talks about how we graduate, graduate from Earth school. But in any case, my daughter Emilia passed 11 years ago, and she was 42 when she died. And it was colorectal cancer that had been missed. So it was stage 4 when she was diagnosed. And she and I were joined at the hip. And really as close as mothers and daughters can be. Never actually, I mean, it's just blown my mind. We never had a fight, ever. That's pretty amazing. 18 years included. It's just, we're so respectful of the other and so close. Just, we got each other beautifully. And so it wasn't instant. She fought the cancer valiantly. Because when she was diagnosed, their son was just 15 months old. And so she wanted to live for him, clearly. And obviously she didn't make it. And so when she had gone, man, I hit my bed. My gratitude was as far as I was glad I didn't have to take care of anybody else in the house, because I was all I could do to get up and take a shower. I just flattened. And I would say, just echoing what others have said, to just go with it. And I know that one of my friends would say, just be strong. And that would make me wild inside. Tell me to be anything. It was all I could do to breathe, and I didn't want to die, but I didn't care if I lived or not. Just did not care. If I died, I'd be with my daughter again. If I mean, my son and my grandchildren, other than her child, are old enough to take care of themselves. But I did want to live for her little guy because he had just turned 3. But he was taken care of. You know, I mean, I wasn't the parent, so I just lay on my bed. The big thing I got out of it, one of the big things, was how important it is to surrender to what's happening. Because I found surrendering to my grief so rich. It didn't feel good, but I realized, and I'm a retired clinical psychologist, and I'd worked with, you know, EMDR, and I'd worked with lots of people grieving over many years.
Right.
And I'm a longtime meditator, and what happened for me was I realized I was my daughter's companion because I could handle it while she was going through this process. So I was by her side all the time. She knew she knew I could hold it. She knew she could tell me anything, the whole thing.
Right.
And when I was lying on my bed, I started getting these snippets of the worst part of her 17 months of fighting cancer. And that's when I surrendered to it. I allowed them to come up. I would cry, but you know, that deep crying from your soul, but it didn't last very long. I mean, each time I might cry, I don't think I probably cried more than 2-3 minutes max. You know, it just feels like forever. But then I'd be calm, you know, and I used to do a lot of EMDR work, and the expression, the words I would put to this is, the memories no longer held a charge. The charge was gone. So I can revisit any of those times now, and they're just memories, you know.
That's amazing.
And they're not, it's because I surrendered to it, you know. And it's like when you're meditating and you're sitting on the cushion, you're supposed to receive your experience, not just sit there. And I had not, when she was alive, I could not be present to myself in that way, because if I had, I could not have been present for her. And my intention was to be present for her. So
I think so many of us learn so much when we're going through the grieving process, not just about grief and the loss, but we learn about life and how to keep living, and maybe how we weren't living. I know a lot of people will say they become a better version of themselves. Not that they don't miss the person, it's separate from that. But after all of that soul searching,
I miss her, but differently.
Right.
I mean, as somebody said, or I think it was Marilyn again, it's been 11 years, but all of a sudden I can just get blindsided by a pocket of sorrow where it's the physical. You know, in my mind, I can still feel what it felt like to, you know, brush your hair or rub her feet.
Right.
You know, I mean, it would be nice to feel in person. But the mediumship for me was incredibly helpful. And I did seek mediums to help me at the time.
That's awesome.
And it was phenomenal. And one of the greatest things that a medium said right off, he said, your daughter wants you to know that when you think you're making up the answers, because I used to talk to her all the time, you're not. It just sounds like your voice.
Right.
That was so comforting. But she, in many ways now, and I've begun working as a medium, she's present all the time.
Right.
And it's so, your relationship changes. I mean, I love, it's richer in many ways. And she's with me all the time. I can talk to her and converse and do everything. I can't pick up the phone, so it's not like a dedicated time, but it's dedicated anytime we turn our attention to each other, you know?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Speaking of mediums, I did one, I think I mentioned in the beginning, but there are many mediums here that offer readings, and there are some giveaways in the magazine. So when it goes live, check that out. Enter to win. Some very lucky people will be able to be read by these amazing mediums. So we talked a lot about the loss and going through the pain and all of that. When we make that conscious decision to stay here and live and learn how to live and love, it's quite different, I believe, than the way we went about it before trauma. For me, I know after my near-death experience, I lived with so much more, I live now with so much more passion, and I haven't just this desire for information and life and love and all of those things. So I saved those questions for Kelly and Jennifer. When we decide to make that decision to really be present in our lives, what do you think are some of the best ways to live our best life? Kelly, do you have any suggestions? Can anyone else hear her?
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
Sorry.
there we are. Okay.
Hello. Oh, my goodness. Well, I think everybody's best life is different for what it's going to be for them. All souls are different. Sure, sure. I think the number one thing to talk about, though, is authenticity and learning about ourselves. So we look to others, we look to life, we look to sometimes things outside of us because we want a role model or an example of how to live our best life and how to have a soulful life. And really, a lot of it is the soul work of living, experiencing, and going within. And really, that rises when we meet the awareness of who we are. So life can just happen at us and we're like, oh, I'm in it. And we learn so much. And we have some of these really traumatic or soulfully rich experiences where life makes sure we're on the path, whether or not we meant to or not. We can't help but have an evolution. And other times it's very quiet and very confusing, and we want things of life and we want to have a good life, and we're confused of why we're not having it. And I feel that a lot of the answers coming forth, not that we all have the perfect answer or the right answer, but a lot of it is the surrender and being okay with where we are in life, but having the will and the awareness of what we're feeling and just being in the human experience. Maybe you want more.
Yeah, I love that you said being okay with where we're at. I think we naturally compare ourselves to each other. Is this normal? I don't know. How's this person dealing with it? How's that person dealing with it? And we think we should be someplace where maybe we're not supposed to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. People are the mirror. So you can learn so much from just looking at someone's life. And I think that there's a lot of wisdom in that. Personally, I watch people and I learn to do and not do certain things. So there is a great importance in observing the lives around you. But yeah, sometimes we want more, and there's no template for that. That can't be possibly satiated by what's around us. We have to just allow whatever we're feeling and experiencing to be. That is the whole point of living. And it will change because it's not supposed to stay the same. It's not. The highs and lows, the journey's all there.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jennifer, as you know, I had some trouble with my internet. I can't see any of the comments. Can you?
Yeah.
Is there
The comments
anything that you wanted to read for us? Something that maybe you wanted to answer?
Yeah. First, we do have a lot of beautiful friends here in the comments. So hello to everybody who's with us here today. And it's I'm humbled and honored to be part of this group of these amazing, beautiful souls here today. And I want to give some love to Tim. His wife passed away about a year and a half ago. So if we could just send some love to him, because he's in his process as well. And everybody shared everything so beautifully here today too. And like, what could I
do have my
add?
question for you.
Okay. Okay.
I'll do that, and then maybe you could comment on the comments for me.
Okay.
So give us some practical tips for just learning to enjoy life again.
Yeah. Thank you, Lori. Thank you. I've had a lot of loss myself, and of people, of pets, of life situations. I almost died myself. And going through all of that was so hard, but it made me want to live. And oh gosh, see, here I go, all emotional. But it made me want to live, and it grew me to a point to understand that there is living, and then there is living, like really living with passion for life, with deep appreciation for every gift that we have in life, and everything is a gift. And to gift ourselves with the grieving process, that there is a metamorphosis that is taking place when we are in this process, and it's a very sacred process to go through too. And so those would be two. And use the memory that tomorrow isn't promised to any of us. And I don't mean this in a negative way. I just mean it in a very conscious way, to understand that. And if we remember that nothing is promised to us, then it can help us to stay present and stay appreciative and grateful for all of the people that are in our life, for all of the gifts that are in our lives too, and to also show more love to the people in our life that are connected to us, so that we can, when it's our time to go, hopefully not have a lot or any regrets about what we wish we could have done or said or did. When we are not living in the present moment, we tend to take things for granted, take life for granted,
Absolutely.
and not have full appreciation, and even get annoyed by things and by people, things. And then if we were to lose them, we would be like, oh, how I wish that thing that annoyed me was here with me again today, because I want that person here in the physical. And so these are just things to be mindful of. It's not easy. We can get so wrapped up in our stuff, but we practice it. Day after day, we get a little bit better, So practically speaking, what can we do? Keep working on ourselves, like Kelly was talking about. Keep pursuing your know thyself process. The more you know you, the more you integrate yourself, the more you love yourself, then the more you have to give to other people, and to the world around us too, to be of service to both self and to others. So love yourself and each other. Practice gratitude for everything, because everything is a blessing and they're infinite too. Have experiences that are new, go places, do things, try new things. We are souls that came here to experience as much as possible. And some of us are really on overdrive with that too. So it's like every emotion, to the soul is valuable. Oh, I get to experience grief. I get to experience joy. It's all rich to the soul. There's no judgment there too. And get out of our comfort zones and keep trying new things. So the part of us that wants to be in the comfort zone needs some coaching out to try new things, because otherwise you may just regret not doing the things, following your dreams, or doing all of those things that would bring you richness in life. So let's try to live a life with no regrets and love each other the best that we can. So that's what
I like that.
For you. Thank you.
I love the part about regrets, because it motivates us to live the life that we really want to. Who am I going back to? Simone. Do you think spirit holds on to those regrets? If we weren't there for them, if we had a fight with them the last time we spoke?
I actually know that would not happen. And the reason I know it is because they come back to me and say to me, tell them I'm sorry, I got it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the most meaningful messages are when the spirit world says to you, those individuals in the spirit world say to you, I thought I was right, but I was wrong.
Yeah.
And where I am is a lot better than I ever thought.
Mm.
You know, and they like to redress the balance. So, you know, if there's been an issue between two people, you know, like, you know what, you know, family dynamics are, for instance, I think we all understand that one. Then then from the other side, they will tell us, you know, they really didn't, you know,
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter at all, because at the end of the day, it's love that keeps us together. And also it's love that is responsible for the communication between us and those in that world we call the spirit world. If they didn't love us and we didn't love them, that couldn't happen.
Right.
Just couldn't happen.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Colin, help me remember all of the names of some of the people that aren't here. We have Amy Bolesky from the Bolesky Experience. She did an interview. We have Kay Reynolds.
We do. And then we have Carrie.
Carrie Brody.
Cindy.
Cindy Sansone Braff. She's our tarot teacher.
We've got Jason Goldsworthy.
Mm-hmm.
Is sent in his content, which is beautiful.
Shelby May.
Shelby May, and I believe Jan and Veronica.
Yes. So it really is filled with some amazing content and giveaways. Like I said, a lot of people here have written books, offer classes. Please check out, you know, everyone's websites. Does anyone have anything particularly fun or interesting coming up that they want to talk about? Simone, I saw something in person you're doing. I'd love to hop on a plane.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'm going to Canada. I'm going to Vancouver in September, end of September.
Oh, you are. I saw the one about, aren't you doing one in England?
I did that last week.
Oh, you did it already. Okay.
I did it already last week. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else does everyone have coming up? Colin, I know you have some retreat coming up.
Yeah, we've got the Letting Go retreat. It's an online retreat from the Friday to the Sunday. Absolutely beautiful energy. That's coming up on the 27th, 28th, 29th. The magic about that one is when we do the introduction, we create a mandala of energy. And we have a tendency to kind of everybody, all the attendees, step into that space mentally, energetically, emotionally, and spiritually, of course. And we tend to remain in that space until we come out on Sunday. So we try and get it as close as a retreat as an in-person one as we can.
Awesome. Nancy, you have something coming up about animal communication, I remember.
Yes, I do. In July. And
okay.
I have animal resources communicators besides myself. I mentor many, and the workshop, I just finished a sacred retreat at my home. And so I have a bunch of workshops coming up. The animal one, if anybody is interested, there will be one person I will offer it free to if they go to my website and general message and tell me why.
Oh, we have the Google form all set up for that. You have the little giveaway. Yep. So look for that in the magazine. That's awesome.
Right. Thank you. And mostly, if I may, it is why when I say we're wireless, the wildlife domestic, have taught us all. We're all wireless. We're all connected through here in physical form and not in physical form. It's all wireless universes. I want them to tune in.
Yeah. Kelly, what do you have going on? I know you have your shows. Do you want to tell us about that?
I have my shows on Sacred Spiral Network, and there Jennifer Rose has a show on there too, Embracing Infinity. And so that's every week, Wednesdays and Fridays for my show, The Psychic Hour. A lot of wonderful interviews of fellow psychic mediums that come on and share their story, as well as readings we do as well. Something that's coming up too, additionally, in August. So on August 8th, I'm blessed to be in Lilydale, New York, and I'll be doing a numerology workshop there.
Oh,
And
awesome.
yeah, I'm a big lover of all things numerology, and I really feel the numerological just vibrations and constructs, they really echo a lot of these understandings that we are all experiencing through archetypal information. So we go down the rabbit hole together with that. What's the universe made out of?
That's very cool. Simone, I was thinking of the October one that you have coming up.
Oh,
Don't you have one in October?
No, I can't think off the top of my head. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. I thought you had one with someone else coming up.
Oh, I have got a 3-day event. Yes, sorry, that is
okay.
end of October, beginning of November. I thank you so much. I'm so sorry.
Don't worry, I'll remind you.
Yeah. You'll remind me where I'm going to be.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's in the UK, and it's for 3 days at a place called Orton Hall, and it's with a very good friend of mine and great colleague. We both worked at the Arthur Finney College together in the UK, and
awesome.
Shelley Yule, and she's an amazing artist. I will be working with trance, and she'll be working with trance art. Okay.
Oh, very cool.
Anybody interested in that? Yeah.
Okay, don't forget. Let's see, Jennifer, do you have anything coming up? Anything you want to share?
Sure. I am blessed to be on Kelly's network. I don't know how she does what she does, but she's a superwoman. Too. So I do have my my live streams every Friday and Embracing Infinity, and I have 2 monthlies, which all happen to be this upcoming week. So I'll be on screen a lot this coming week. So Fashionably Spiritual and Messages from the Enchanted Realms. So that's going to be a lot of fun next week as well. I'll have some workshops coming up more in the fall. I'm taking it a little easier this summer too. But also I've got my Sunday service every couple of weeks that I continue to host. And our next one is a week from this Sunday with, we have always had different guest mediums on, and I've got Lynn Juno as our guest medium this next Sunday, and Kelly is part of Team Angel as well, with Miss Fran and Miss Nancy Murtala too. So that's a lot of fun. So we all have a lot of fun doing different things together. And then I'm part of your mediumship mastery workshop as well. So that will be a good segue for you, Lori, to talk about.
Yeah, someone remind me that I have an event coming up.
I know, right?
I often say, remind me to come. And I do have a psychic investigation class Friday. I have one that's UK friendly time. Send us a message if you're interested in any of this. The mediumship mastery, we have, there's 6 of us doing that one. I've been loving planning these events, different events with different people. It's been awesome. I'm blessed to know all of you, to have you all working alongside with me. It's been really cool. Is there anyone I didn't get to that has something they want to talk about? No. All right. Anyone have anything else they want to say before we go? I want to thank all the listeners. Thank you. Thank you. Please click on the magazine, check it out, share it. Colin, you good? You have anything else to add?
Just to say thank you so much to everybody, and just to maybe encourage, well, I know Spirit are trying to encourage all of us at the minute during this time. We're seeing changes almost on our doorstep now. Some people it's on their doorstep. Just to try and keep that light shining within you, and come together. Stop this realm of division in our mind and come together.
Absolutely.
And that's the message from Spirit.
Colin has worked endlessly with me on this magazine, and Eva behind the scenes.
I've endlessly been entertaining myself with you.
You know, I think I would love to finish this off with a little just intention, sending out love to the universe for peace. Does anyone want to lead a little, I don't know, 30 seconds, a minute, sending out love to the world?
I'm quite happy to do that, if that's
Oh,
okay.
thank you.
It's okay.
Okay.
All right. So we're just all going to just sit back, relax, and just move our minds into that zone, if you like, where it's just peace and harmony. And now, just think about your own energy and just feel your own energy expanding outwards and upwards and filling your room with your light. And remember, you are known by your light, by the Spirit. And as your light shines, invite them to join you and set your intention that what we want to do between all of us, we want to send out our love to the world to help our world at the moment through all those difficulties, all those millions of difficulties. And as we do so, just think yourself big, bright, and light. And just allow your thoughts to go into the ether so that the spirit world can use them and direct them where they're needed now. So just know that your power, your light shines brightly to them, and that it's encouraging them to use that power with their guidance to those that need it most. And on behalf of them all, I thank you. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, thank you. I love that we're known by our light. We get so caught up in these physical bodies, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you to those listening. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there.
Yeah.
Thank you for everybody who's joined us on the chats.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you,
Bye,
everybody.
everyone.
Thank you, Laura.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Also love to everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Mhm.